Hi everyone. I finally managed to find some quiet time to do some recording with a lockdown and all the children being home. It's hard to bit of background noise, but they're all in different rooms on their Zoom classes. So I've got 5 minutes to myself. I thought I'd run you through a quick black and white edit of this image I took yesterday at the park. So just jump over here quickly and show you my settings. I was using my Lens Baby Edge 80, which is my favorite, one of my favorite lenses at the moment. Uh, ISO 2000. It was the sort of golden hour. The light here, it was like we were in a bit of shade, so I needed to bump my ISO to be able to keep my shutter speed at 1/320 just to get it fast enough to freeze that motion as she came up on the swing. So I'm going to start by using one of my favorite black and white presets from Holly Nicole Timekeeper's Art and Soul collection called Drama. I'm just going to pop that on there like that. Now it's quite a dark and moody preset. I'm just going to kill some of the highlights to recover the detail here. I'm going to just bump the shadows up a tiny bit just to brighten her a little bit more. All right, that's all I'm going to do in Lightroom. I'm going to jump over into Photoshop. So photo edit in Adobe Photoshop. Here we go. It's opening up for me. Here we go. There's a recording software down. All right, so here we are in Photoshop. I'm going to do a couple of things in Photoshop. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a duplicate layer by going Control J or Command J if you're on a Mac. And then I'm going to just go Filter, Camera Raw Filter. Now this is going to open up the Camera Raw filter, which is very similar to Lightroom with the options that you have. The reason I like doing it in Photoshop rather than Lightroom is that you can then adjust the opacity of the layers and you just have a bit more flexibility with optimization. So I'm going to start by applying a radial filter to my daughter's face. I want to darken this part of the frame just to kind of draw distraction. As you can see, the focus is on her feet and her head is kind of slightly fallen out of focus. That was a deliberate choice. I wanted to kind of get the height here. I'm just going to pop this radial filter just over her face and arm there, just to kind of darken. As you can see, I've got the feathering set all the way to 100 so that I don't get harsh lines or halos around where I've popped the mask. And I'm just going to bring that down there. If I turn the mask off, you'll see it's made her a little bit darker. And then I'm going to pop another radial filter over her feet there, because I just want to lighten her feet up a bit just to bring the focus more back to them. So I'm going to just lift the photo here. Not too much because, like I said, I don't want that halo to pop up, and then the shadow slightly, just to give her, just to brighten those feet up a tiny bit. I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, that's applied. So let's just turn it off, turn it on. Now I think I just want her toes to be a tiny bit brighter. So I'm just going to go Filter, Camera Raw Filter again. Going to open up the same thing. Just going to grab one more radial filter and just pop that just on the very end of her toes there, where the feathering kind of faded them out. All right. Okay. As you can see, that's brightened up her feet. If I turn that layer off, you can see it's just taken the focus a little bit off her face and brought the focus back onto her feet, which is where I wanted it to be. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a levels layer and a curves layer just to add a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to go add new adjustment layer, levels, this one up here, this one up, and then this one up to 5. I don't want it to be too dark because I don't want to clip the shadows down here in the corner. All right, so I'm happy with that. As you can see, that's just brightened the whole image up a little bit. And then to add the contrast, I'm just going to grab curves adjustment layer and just pop a little S in there. That, and you will see. Again, I don't want to make that too dark. You'll see when I turn that on and off, it's just added a little bit more contrast to the dark areas. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a texture over the top just to really bring her out in the middle. So I'm going to jump over here, File, Place Embedded. I've got Jessica Drossen's Texture Pack 2020 open. I love her textures, her light overlays. I've got quite a lot of her bits and pieces. I'm just going to pop Mysteries over there. As you can see, this is yellow, and obviously my image is black and white. So when I bring it into soft light, it's going to give me a sepia tone that I'm not really in love with. So I just go up here, Image, Adjustments, black and white, and that will just change the color of that overlay back to black and white. If it was a color image and I just wanted to change the color of it, I could do Image, Adjustments, and then use either a hue and saturation or a color balance layer to adjust the color. So let's just that goes. That's just, again, really helping to bring her out and make her pop. I'm just going to transform that layer. I'm just going to drag it out a little bit just to get the brightness off so that we don't lose the brightness in her toes. All right. I might bottom corner down a bit. All right. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. Happy editing, people.